Thomas, Dizzy Amorosi,
like 10 tracks.
Sin Thetic,
Old,
Brazilian
like,
Studios.
Music side of it, the fucking entertainment end as far as the gimmicky rappers, and then you got the fucking straight business side. He picks that shit apart in a way that just, that shit made me stop and think for a minute if I even wanted to keep fucking like doing shit with music, period. Like how artists is getting rammed in the ass on album sales, even shows. How it's hard.
But everybody is though. But the whole thing switched.
Like even the way motherfuckers, even the way they breaking into the game now. Like it's not talent based.
It's all about networking and knowing meeting the right people, sucking the right dicks, and all that.
I mean, networking is what it is. But,
but
you gotta be able to grease pockets these days.
You know what I think would save the industry is if labels more or less like gave up. Like stop trying to make a mainstream scene. Stop trying to put certain artists on. Fuck Grammys, fuck awards. Just let the musicians do their own work and let them make their own way.
You know what
I'm saying? So there is no competition. So there is no like, all right, well Macklemore's the shit because he made so much money all on his own. Blah 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 blah. In comparison to labels who are drowning, signing these artists for millions of dollars, but they ain't making a dime. You know what I mean? Like if you kind of let the artists do the work, like
site in the world.
Well, that's what I mean though. That's why like the artist should have to hustle. You know what I mean? It should be on you. How bad do you want
this
it?
Shit right here, seeing this shit right here though, like I gotta say this, seeing a pressed up copy with artwork, official artwork, and the disc has got fucking artwork on it, ain't some Sharpie shit. It says, track 1, this and that.
Shout out to Keith Marcel for the artwork.
This is fucking rare these days. And that's what's fucked up.
Like I went to, and I'll tell you what, I didn't do it for years. The past year I started using my phone because I can't read my own handwriting. So I'll be in the studio taking forever to get a 16 and off of my chicken scratch. But now I type on my phone, I actually record a lot better, a lot more effective with it. Real shit.
I
didn't think that. I thought that'd be a problem for me. I actually end up being way more effective with it. It's crazy.
Dude, I was a notebook guy forever up until this year, and I think it was Tripp who was the one who was like really convinced me, like, yo, just give it a shot. So
it was me, motherfucker.
It was a bunch of us, really, but somebody was like, just like really sold it on me, like just give it a shot. I was like, all right. So ever since then, I've been writing on my tablet. And
I was just about to say
one day I was at Tommy's and we had to write a 16 for the song with Dream, and I didn't have my tablet with me. I had to handwrite it, and I used to be so used to my handwriting, my scribbles. Like I wouldn't even have to write words out. Like I just knew what I meant. You know what I mean? Like I had my.
So it fucked you up a little bit
when I tried to read it off it was all fucked up. When I'm so used to it now. Like when I type it out on the tablet, I type 4 bars at a time. That's how he was kicking it. Like if we were to present you to a label, lyrics are important to them. Like they might not want to sit down. Well, as far as like they want the accessibility. Yeah, they're clearly not.
I mean, that's definitely
what you're saying is not
I mean,
what you're saying is not important, but they want to be able to read it. But like that just shows your professionalism. It shows how thorough you are what you do. Like nowadays you can't just show up and rap, dude. There's 900 million rappers fucking on New Jersey Avenue. You know what I mean? Like
the same thing with the studio. I used to have a studio right there on Market and Broadway.
Yeah.
And I used to kill it. I used to make money, and I was charging like $20 an hour. Every motherfucker and their mom got a fucking laptop with a USB mic now.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
So like studios, like I had a studio. That shit is like irrelevant these days.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you've heard this? It was recorded on Tommy's fucking computer with one mic and Pro Tools. Like it's
I'm
not
saying there's nothing
spectacular.
wrong with it. To a degree now. The sound quality, like the man knows what he's doing, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
He's still an engineer. But you go out there, like, look, I use my Facebook strictly for networking, so I get shit across from everywhere, and there's tracks out there that's on SoundCloud that are just horrible, like just horrible quality, just horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But these motherfuckers got like 15,000 friends in fucking middle America somewhere, and they got fucking plays. Or they paying for plays. And that shit,
it's a mixture of both, man. You got a lot of yes men out there, man. People want to be famous rappers and shit like that, and they have enough people backing their cause. I mean, you look at motherfuckers on the radio, he says it all the time. People, have you ever met an Iggy Azalea fan?
Like a motherfucker that a cop to that shit?
Yeah. Nah. Do you have one? Nah. but this bitch is selling, you know, all these, and then now she the queen.
No, nobody else is selling records, but
she just get that fucking award or whatever too.
Yeah, she just got the American Music Award for best.
Yeah, she need
for best rap album of the year. And it was quoted. I don't know who said it, but I read the next day that someone said that her album is the new Illmatic. Yep.
Who the fuck said that?
I don't know. I just saw it.
Google that shit.
I saw it quoted in some, like, when they were discussing about her winning the award and how many people were pissed.
But that brings me to a point though. You said motherfuckers want to be famous rappers. Why though? Like, why you want to rap?
They just attention hungry whores, man. We're hip hop. You know what I mean? Straight up, this is just what we do. We've been doing it for so long, man. It's just what we do. Hip hop artists, we just do this because it's just what we are. We're artists. We're hip hop artists. You know, if money and shit comes, that's fucking dope. I run with that. But nowadays, it's social networking, man. Everything's accessible. Come back to the studio shit you're talking about. Everything's accessible. Any douchebag with a computer and a microphone can do some shit. And that's a good thing and a bad thing, because you got so many people that shouldn't be doing it. And then you got all these yes men doing it too. Like, if you, I see a lot of them. I'm not even gonna name drop. There's a lot of motherfuckers that I've been on shows with that I'm like, yo, you're not a hip hop artist, bro. But you got 5 or 6 of your boys with you screaming your name to the rooftop, so your video footage look good.
See what it
you know what I mean?
It is though. There's rappers, and then there's hip hop artists. There's the motherfuckers that do the shit or want to do the shit because they want to get rich and famous. And then there's motherfuckers that embrace the whole culture. It's like a complete lifestyle. From everything involved, from the production end to, you know what I mean, video work, shit like that. Like, and that's, like, for me, that's what I'm into it for. Like, not just, like, I could give a fuck less if I'm in front of the camera, behind the camera, on the stage, on the boards. It's hip hop, and I just love the vibe. Like, I don't even need lyrics all the time.
Dude, I was 8.
Yeah, real shit.
I was 8 years old, and I saw Guns N' Roses' "Welcome to the Jungle" video for the first time. Like, not even 20 seconds into the song, I was like, I want to do that. Like, I didn't even understand nothing about it. I was like, I just want to play music. Whatever they're doing, I love it. You know. I grew up a metalhead. The only early, like, rap influence that I had when I was real young is because Yo MTV Raps used to come on right before Headbangers Ball, so I'd catch, like, the last 20 minutes of it. Fab Five Freddy.
Yeah,
and Ed Lover.
The Fat Dr. Dre.
Yep. Yeah, Dr. Dre and Ed Lover, Fab Five Freddy was those one. But I used to watch it, and then I found myself liking, like, you know, I would see these videos again and again, and I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And then my cousin introduced me to Straight Outta Compton. And I was never a big rap guy. I grew up in Southwest Philly. I went to public school there. It was majority black, so, like, everybody listened to rap in my school. You know, like, that was a big thing. And rap was new. I'm 35 years old. Like, rap was still fairly a new thing. Matter of fact, the first
his age and shit.
The first rap song, first rap song I ever knew all the that I knew all the lyrics to was "Joy and Pain."
Okay.
So that's how far back that goes. And you know, I did the band thing forever. I actually played bass first just because I knew a million guitarists and a million drummers. So I was like, I'm gonna play bass because nobody does that. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get in a band if I play bass. And I did that for years, and I loved it. And it's sort of the same scene. Like, the hip hop thing now is like there's so many bands, and we were all trying to make something out of it, and I stopped doing the band thing because I got tired of worrying about what 4 other people wanted to do with their lives. You know, this is 7 bands later that broke up because one dude got a girlfriend and wanted to get married, or this dude wanted to do this or that, and the band was done, and blah blah blah.
I never had to do with no shit.
So I started rapping. I bought a drum machine, a Boss Dr. Rhythm, and I wrote 5 songs. I wrote all the I did everything. Wrote the beats and everything. Did a 5-song demo. Like, I am not hip hop. I will never own it. Like, I know I'm not hip hop. I don't have the hip hop knowledge that most people do for being a rapper. Like, when I'm questioning, like, I'm not hip hop, dude.
Nah.
But however, I am, because I love it and I appreciate it. But however, that I didn't grow up like that. The reason why I do rap now, like, what I like about us together, especially as a group, like, it has to be fun again. Like, when I first was introduced to hip hop, there was a fun element to it that I really liked. I mean, great NWA was gangster, and the reason why I adapted to them so well was because they were characters. I love that about them. Like, they were a metal group to me. They were, you know what I mean? Like, they were characters. They weren't just dudes rapping.
But like that early '90s era was like fun. Like, that was the shit like we came up on.
It was,
it was fun. Like, I mean, like, I remember
my
like
Adidas, like, it was part down
driving and shit. Like, them tracks, like that shit's still the shit now. Like, I'm looking to put on when I'm driving.
Like, it got so crazy that at one point Run DMC put out Down with the King, and although that was like a straight up God, you know, Christian pushing the Jesus thing, like, it was still fun. And even if, like, you know, I'm not like a religious person at all, that song was the shit to me.
You got that
freestyle, man. First time I started recording, man, I was always a freestyle dude on Notepad since I was like 12, but we got, you know, I'd say the first time I actually put my voice on a beat, recorded, was in 06. My boy had a computer. He had a quality microphone for a computer. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a real recording mic. We rapped. Nah. It was a more official computer microphone, and it like
had the headphone jack on it.
Yeah, and we fucking clicked it on. We took a bunch of socks and pantyhose and ripped it, and you know we was just pretty much, I mean, popping Xanax like M&Ms and just spitting in that.
But part of that is hip hop too. Don't get it fucked up. Like, part of that is hip hop. Like, the desire to do it.
You gotta start somewhere with it. You know what I mean? And just gotta keep perfecting your craft.
I definitely want to tell this story on camera. First time I ever rapped, I had a friend of mine who had turntables, a couple years older than me. My boy took me over to his house, and I had written poetry. I started writing poems about like 14, was just kind of fucking around with it, whatever. And, you know, I was talking to him about his tables. First time I met him, I was like, you know, interested in how it worked, all that. And I told him I wrote poetry, and he was like, well, why don't you just try and rap? Like, I'll break some beats down. And I laughed at him, like, dude, I'm a 15-year-old white metalhead. Like, what are you talking about? He was like, just try it. He was like, you know, just like you write your poems, you know, write your raps. You'll figure out the beat. And he made me do it. Like, he was like, you know, he started playing beats. He was like, rap, just rap. And it was awful, you know, like, it was absolutely terrible. But the next time I had gone over there, I brought some of my poems, and I was reading them to his beats, and, like, I started realizing, like, oh, this is how you rap. Reason why I want to tell that story is because his name was Kenny Diener. He just passed away, I think, maybe 6 months ago. Shout out to Kenny. I, like, literally owe my career to that dude. Like every time I get on stage, I think about that dude.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. Yeah,
now, back to you saying you're not hip-hop, man. We just talked about all your band playing and your metal shit. Hip-hop, in its core, is based upon the lack of that genre, of that generation having their own music and style. So they took from the jazz and the blues. I want to see you incorporate some of that with your hip hop.
You know how many people ask me to learn how to play bass and rap at the same time?
I'm not even just saying that, but you know playing instrumentation. You originally from that genre, like, that shit gets motherfuckers like me excited. And I can tell you a lot of other motherfuckers that are in my age range that would be like, yo, that's that shit. And be like,
it's weird. I can't even pinpoint exactly when it changed, because, like I said, when I first started, you know, I made my own beats and shit. Like, I actually moved down to Virginia when the Neptunes took off, because my boy lived down there, and we knew that they hung out at this one open mic spot. So my boy was like, yo, come down here and play here. Like, you might see one of, you know, somebody from the Neptunes crew. And they were just blowing up. It was like perfect timing for that, you know. So I went down there with a drum machine and a backpack, went into the bar. Turned out the open mic was mainly an acoustic thing. But I went in, I went up to the dude to sign up, and I was like, you know, I'm going to sign for the open mic. And he was like, all right, well, you know, what do you do? I said, I rap. And he's like, okay. And he goes, so what are you doing here? I was like, well, I said, well, it's an open mic, right? And he was like, well, yeah. I said, so I want to rap. He said, well, how do you have your music? I said, I have a drum machine in my backpack with beats I made on it. And he was like, so you're telling me you want to rap to beats that you made yourself on a drum machine? I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, so you're the opener. You're going to go first. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. You know, sat down, chilled. Never been there before. I had like 3 friends with me, you know. I did my set, left right away because the dude was a total dickhead to me, like, you know, before I went on. So I was like, fuck this dude, I'm not hanging out. So I left right away with total plans to come back the next week. The next week, I walked through the door, same guy, walked right up to him. I was like, yo, I want to sign up. The dude was like, yo, Chuck, from Jersey, right? From Jersey, like, you know, like he all of a sudden he remembered everything I said. Shit, huh? Yo, then he went on stage, no shit, then he went on stage to intro the show, and he was like, I just want to let y'all know, we got Chuck Thomas, he came all the way down from Jersey, he's a great rapper, I know that's not usually our style, but you gotta check him out, and he was like, he's going to be the headliner tonight, the feature artist, they let me play 2 extra songs in 1 week.
See, this is what makes me say that you are hip-hop. Swaying a motherfucker who look at some hip-hop shit on the stereotypical and fuck that goofball shit, and you come in the next time and he want to hear it, you influence somebody, you know, change their mind.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and
whether
like,
you
like we're
not, motherfucker, you hip hop,
and that's fine, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Like, if you want to consider me hip hop, that's fine. But as far as I go, like, I'm a person, dude. I like to write rhymes. I have a good time with my boy. We go out, we play shows. If one person likes it, I'm happy. I have a bar in one of my first mixtapes that I did with Resilient. And it is, if I get the opportunity to change one life, you can keep the fame and fortune because I'll be all right. That's what it is to me. Like, I do this for fun. 35 years old. I paint apartments. Barely, I'm barely getting by. I'm broke as fuck. Like, I do music because I love it. That's it. Plain as day. If I die tomorrow, I'll be real mad when all my albums start selling and I'm dead. But if I died tomorrow and nothing ever came of it, like, if this is as far as I've gotten, and I said this last year, if this is as far as I get with this, I'm fine with it. I don't do this for anyone's approval. I don't give a fuck if you think I'm hip-hop or not. Like, what I meant is I'm not claiming to be hip-hop.
See, no, but I can relate to what you just said, because I came to a point with spitting that I did enough shows, back in my day, which was like 06, 07, and this guy was rapping microphones up in fucking pantyhose and shit. And we did our thing though, like, it was me and Dream, or the car, shout out B.Y.O.B.
B.Y.O.B.
and shit, you know what I mean? And we did some shows.
Smoke loud, live free.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And we did, the label thing more so than what he's doing now and shit. And we had a little notoriety. It was like local love, local fame. We had our little rivalries and shit. And I got to a point where, like, I'm good with that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm good with that now. Like, I like to spit. I love to spit. And when I feel inclined to do so, I do so. I got a studio and shit. But I started and came in with, like, working in hip-hop from a different angle. I started as an engineer.
Okay.
Not as a producer, as an engineer. I rolled with a bunch of cats that could rap. And that's when, that street shit was hard body.
Yeah, especially
everybody was doing that shit. And motherfuckers needed to get this shit recorded. They was, tired of spending $45, $50 an hour. Yeah. So, I guess the hustler spirit in me that didn't even really realize it at the time, I wanted that money.
Yeah.
I went out, got me a laptop, got me motherfucking, what was it, Sony Acid or some shit.
Yeah.
Acid Drop.
Yeah, Sony Acid and Magic Music.
I used a lot of Acid Drop too. Oh wait, you're talking about the program? Never mind.
Nah, but 2 different Acid Drops.
My big thing with people saying,
I'll take
like,
care of you later.
My big thing with people who bark that I'm hip hop shit, no matter who you are, and it's nobody in particular that I'm thinking of at all. But, like, I feel like a lot of people that try to wave that flag, like, I'm hip hop, like, and if I walked up to them and said, like, all right, well, let's hear something, they're probably going to spit something written. It's probably, like, I don't know. I don't claim to be nothing because, like, I'm just me. And there's going to be days where you see me, somewhere and, like, yo, give him a 16 and I'm going to spit it written. You know what I mean? Like, I can't freestyle all the time. It don't work like that. You know what I mean? But if you were to really challenge me, like, if I walked in somewhere and I seen some dude freestyle on top of his head and somebody else, like, one of my peoples was like, yo, Chuck and spit, like, that's where I shine. Put me in front of a crowd, I'll freestyle all day. You know what I mean? Like, this has seen happen.
Yeah, that's what we did. That's how I got started, man. I really only got into the rapping thing to take it serious was because people around the way that knew me started considering me a rapper before I considered myself a rapper. So we would just be partying, doing shit. People be like, spit a rhyme. I was just always down to spit a rhyme. And I always wrote. It was like my therapy, you know what I mean? I would just write notepads on my own time, zone out in my room and shit. But I always just freestyled, and then I start recording once in a while. Someone like the guys were saying, I said, like, people around the way would run down on me because I would release a track here and there and be like, how's the rapping going? And I was just more like, I'm just bullshitting, you know what I mean? I would freestyle most of my tracks originally, I'd write some kind of improv, everything. I always would freestyle in my hooks, and then, the first person that ran down on me on some real rap shit was Snipe. Hit me up to get into the battling thing, which I wasn't really feeling that much, but you know, I ended up doing it. I felt it was good exposure, and I was getting love off the first battle I had, and you know, from there it was like, alright, I gotta take this serious. I'm not trying to just plateau, because now I felt like people were watching now. So I was like, alright, well, I love doing it anyway, and you know, the more we get into it and doing shows and battles and being around the culture as a whole like that, I love this shit. You know what I mean? So I ran with it, and that's really how I got into it. I never would have really thought I was about it like that. I always had some other shit on my mind. I was always running around and working and trying to make money and getting into some trouble here and there, and you know, it just always happened to be able to freestyle. And from that, it just evolved into that shit. Yeah, we all been there, man. We still do that shit. Sex, drugs, and rap. Sex, drugs, and rap. Like, you already know. You know what I mean? Shout out B.Y.O.B, Resilient Studios, THE, Soulbuck. Man, I got too many to shout out. I don't even.
Nimrod,
Ill Squad,
Trash,
Trash Man.
You know what I mean? We got mad people.
The Homeless Band,
yeah, Homeless Band,
Snipe,
Homeless
Leggy,
Band.
Jackie.
My homie Namo Bars out in Philly, really doing his work out there, man. Shout out Prof, man. Shout out the whole battle scene going on. You know what I mean? I fuck with a lot of battlers. My man Preach is doing his thing. Shout out Hood Breed and the No Hold Barred League, and you know, all them motherfuckers too, man. We fuck with everybody.
Very important
really.
shout out. The third member, Sin Thetic, Big E.
Yeah.
Shout out Big E. He's not here.
Homie, man. He's usually with us. He sees the shows and shit. That's our man right there. You know.
Yeah,
man.
you know what I mean. I'm surprised.
That's my brother from another mother, man.
I'm surprised he wasn't here.
That's my that's my brother right there, man. We've been, you know, me and him talk a lot, man, and we our main thing is we've come a long way from, you know, doing drugs and spitting on that microphone I was talking about. You know what I mean? We've come a long way, and we're only moving forward, man. Full support, man.
His progression is good, so I mean that's what you should strive for.
You know, one last thing I want to say, like about myself is like through the whole rap thing. Like when I first started, like I said, all my friends were in bands. That was my whole life was bands, everything. And you know, we'd always have parties on the weekends, and somehow every single party would turn into me freestyling in the middle of a bunch of metalheads and them loving it, throwing words at me and making, you know, that being like the event, you know what I mean? And I remember one time I was at a party, and like a separate one, it wasn't like my people, but it was, you know, mutual friends, whatever. And somebody brought it up, like, yo, I heard you rap, like, spit some freestyles. So I was spitting freestyles off the top of my head, and there was a dude standing next to me that just the whole time was like, that wasn't freestyle, there's no way, blah, blah, blah. So I turned around, and I don't remember how I did it, but I rapped about his whole outfit from head to toe. And as soon as when I got to his shoes, how I ended it was, I was like, dog, I don't take it seriously, it's just an outlet. And by the way, I was looking through your window, so I knew your whole outfit. Huh. And the dude just looked at me like, wow, what are you gonna say? Like,
hip-hop shit, appreciate you coming through, checking us out, man. Sex, drugs, and rap. Resilient Studios, check out our young boy Trippy Trip music. You can nod to, available on that Piff too, man. Check that out. Check out Fluent, man, holding Delaware down too, man. We're doing big things out here.
So once again, Spaz, Team BYOB. Sitting here with Chuck Thomas and Dizzy. I'm holding the Sin Thetic Sex, Drugs, and Rap album. Y'all see that out there? Look at that. Sex, Drugs, and Rap right there. Tell them where they can get this, guys.
Man, Spotify, iTunes. Hit us up for that hard copy. CD, baby. Best Buy, Target, Amazon. We're everywhere, man.
It's everywhere.
Like, so if you don't got it, you
also, you might fuck around and see that shit in Walmart. You never know. With the big, you know what I mean, friend of advisory, they gonna have that shit edited out. You know what I mean? Shout out to Walmart. What up?
Also, we've noticed when we do shows that Dizzy and I each have, you know, are like certain people in the crowd that like one of us more than the other because of our different styles. Let it be known that we are solo artists, and that's how Sin Thetic started. We were solo artists first, and we met recording through the same studio, and we did one track together, which was called Sex, Drugs, and Rap, and that was the birth of that.
Now, if y'all cop the album and listen to this shit, y'all can figure that out on your own.
You'll definitely be able to tell who's
y'all gotta listen to this shit.
Let us know who you like more. I know y'all gonna say Dizzy. You can throw Chuck in there so you don't feel bad.
Dizzy described it perfectly. He's the guy in the group that says, you're hungry, here's a hamburger, eat it. I'm the guy in the group that tells you how the cow was born, where he was raised,
real shit,
how he was slaughtered, where he was shipped from. Like, I'm the deep one, he's the in your face one. We both have a good time, man. We love hip hop. Shout out to everybody doing their thing. Spaz, thank you for coming through, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Honored.
Appreciate that.
Maybe one of these days I'll get a solo interview with you. Talk about that later.
Oh, y'all don't like me? What the fuck's up?
We gotta get a solo Dizzy one too. But check us out. January 10th.
Oh,
Opening
shit.
for Terminology, Club Voltage.
Yes. BYOB, Smoke Loud, Live Free, Terminology Show. Hey, Giorgio, the car. We always working, dog. We always working.
Shit. Shout out to you.
Hit us up for info because if you buy tickets early, that will benefit you. Buy the tickets online, you will save a good bit of money.
that night.
Don't even matter if VIP or not. If you just want to come to the show and just get a regular ticket.
Matter of fact, I think I got some tickets in the back. Call these motherfuckers, call me.
Hit us up on Facebook. Get the tickets online if you're coming. It will definitely benefit you and benefit us. So if you plan on coming, please do that. Hit us up for the links. Also, hit up the car, whoever.
Well, shit.
Hit somebody up. Make sure
the lineup's too crazy.
Crazy ass lineup.
Well, we know they gonna be there. We know Terminology gonna be there.
Rich Quick.
Burke the
Rich
jerk.
motherfucking Quick.
Burke the motherfucking jerk.
Spaz.
Not this one, the other one.
Nah, that's all about this Spaz in the building. What the fuck?
Well, he's gonna be in the
I'm gonna be there too. Y'all know I'm gonna be there.
Miss Spaz playing that one?
I have no fucking clue.
Shout out to Spaz. She's one of our favorites.
I've heard a lot of good things about her.
I thought she's so dope.
I've heard of that.
Also, shout out Stevie Franks. Cop his new shit because we've been bumping that for like about a week and a half. Now that shit is dope.
Shout out. It's just another
Super
work
dope.
day.
But yeah, Terminology, January 10th. Get at us for tickets. We'll give you the link to get them online. If you're coming, please get them early. Trust me, it'll be worth it for you. It'll save you some money and it'll save us some hassle. So please do that.
Real shit.
Thank y'all. We'll see you soon.
Alright, man.
Sex, drugs, and rap. Chuck and Diz on the track. Now who's fucking with that?
It's like that. Sex, drugs, and rap. I just try and make them tracks that you wanna run back like that. Sex, drugs, and rap. Chuck and Diz on the track. Now who fucking with that?